Welcome to an SFB Addict video. The Lyran Star Empire, another feline humanoid race similar to the Khazinti. They also have a feudal political system with the inherent infighting that goes along with such a system. Either that or caste just like the fight. There are 21 counties arranged into 4 duchies and an imperial county ruled by the King Emperor himself. There is a national fleet to which the dukes and their subordinate counties contribute funds, but each duke would have a small fleet of their own and a personal flagship. Originally these would be command cruisers, but over time became battle cruisers and eventually dreadnoughts. The consequence of these dukes getting stronger forces is eventually one of the counties severed from the empire and became the Lyran Democratic Republic. LDR ships are the same as Lyran ships, except they have Phaser G supplied by the Hydrans, replacing their Phaser 3s. Lyran ships are a catamaran bifurcated hull, and later a trimaran design was added. Their primary weapons are disruptors and phasers, but their specialty weapon is the ESG, Expanding Sphere Generator. Expanding is a bit of a misnomer, as the field is not generated and then expanded outward from the ship, but it can be set to various specific radiuses. The ESG has 2 tactical uses. One is used to ram enemy ships, conveniently dropping the facing shield to be fired upon by direct fire weapons. The other is to clear incoming enemy shuttles, fighters, and drones. A third unintended consequence or use of the ESG is to act as a magnet/shield to divert Hydran Hellbore weapons fire, an effect that has been both boon and curse to both Lyran and Hydran combatants. Finally, there are also drone users. While their ships do not mount drone launchers, their fighters do, and carriers and escorts that have a supply of drones for their fighters will often use shuttles as scatterpacks. Although sometimes the ESG weapon system can make using drones problematic, ESGs are complicated. Not only do Lyran navigators have to avoid hitting their own ships, shuttles, and drones, and the ESGs of other Lyran ships, they need to be keenly aware of terrain, like asteroids and small planetoids and moons. Other than tractor beams, ESGs are the most difficult rule set to understand in Starfleet battles. So much so I even made a couple of videos about their specific rules. Follow the links to see. There is a pattern of improvements to the Lyran fleet. The Plus refit in year 166 improves their shields. The P refit improves some Phaser 3s to Phaser 1s in year 170. And in year 178, the other special Lyran invention, the Mechlink, was added to some ships. Mechlinks allow the towing of small combat craft called PFs, or fast patrol ships. They are essentially short lifespan ships or attrition units. The final refit is the addition of a power pack. A section containing atomic power reactors is welded to the belly of the receiving ship. These were part of the original designs, but a cost-cutting measure to get more ships into the field faster left them out of actual production. They are only deployed on trimaran hulls. Just like planetary wet navies turned to cutting ships in half, lengthening them to make larger ships, the Lyrans also cut their ships to make larger ones, but they cut them vertically, resulting in wider instead of longer hulls. The Lyrans are allies of the Klingons. Before the General War, the Lyrans were at constant war with the Hydran Kingdom for about 150 years. The Klingons also had a similar history with the Hydrans. This mutual enemy made the Klingons and Lyrans natural allies. The Lyrans, through their much longer war experience, have developed many firsts and unique contributions to space warfare. They were the first to deploy dedicated war hulls, DWs, CWs, and CAs, etc., shorter lifespan ships that were faster to produce than normal, longer lifespan, slower to build ships, a reinvented method to convert regular construction to upgraded war production, and they also developed interceptors/PFs and the Mechlinks to carry them on regular warships. My favorite Lyran ships are, no surprise, the result of these inventions. They are the BC, CW, DW, and MP, all war hulls. First, the dreadnought that isn't a dreadnought but a battlecruiser. A Panther-class light cruiser is cut in half vertically and a middle section added. This makes the BC. The same process is used to make the Dreadnought, where a Tiger-class cruiser is expanded. The DN and BC have a near identical look, but the battlecruiser is slightly slimmer compared to the Dreadnought. The battlecruiser, deployed in year 168, has a cost of 183 BPV, a base cost of 161, 18 for the power pack, and 4 for the other refits. It has 4 disruptors, 2 FA, 2 FX. It has 8 to 10 phaser 1s, 2 that are FAL, 2 that are FAR, 2 that are 360, and after the phaser refit it gets a phaser 1 left side and a phaser 1 right side. Before the phaser refit, those phaser 1s were phaser 3s, 2 of them, 1 left side and 1 right side. It has 4 ESGs, that's a potential of 15 points of damage at range 3 for each ESG, 60 points of damage generated just from ramming. It has 4 shuttles, and perhaps uniquely to standard warships, the Lyrans have repair facilities, which allows them to repair the PFs and interceptors they carry on their mech links. The next ship is the Warcruiser. It is a destroyer that is cut in half with a center section added. Deployed in year 165, it is 128 BPV, a base cost of 113 plus the refits. It has 3 disruptors, 2 FA, 1 FX. It has 4 phaser 2s, 2 FAL, 2 FAR. And after the phaser refit, it has 4 phaser 1s, 2 FA, 1 left side, 1 right side. Before the phaser 3 refit, it had 4 phaser 3s, 2 left side and 2 right side. After the phaser refit, the phaser 3s are reduced to 1 phaser 3 per side. It has 2 ESGs and 2 shuttles. The DW, deployed in year 165, is a frigate cut in half and a center section added. It is a base cost of 89 and the refits bring it up to 103. It has 3 disruptors, 2 FA and 1 FX. After the phaser refit, it has 4 phaser 1s, 2 FA, 1 left side and 1 right side. It has 2 phaser 2s, 1 FAL and 1 FAR. Before the phaser refit, it had 4 phaser 3s, 2 left side, 2 right side, and after the refit, it is left with 1 phaser 3 on each side. It has 2 ESGs and 2 shuttles. And finally, but not least, is the MP. It is a police cruiser that is cut in half and expanded. It is a cost of 82 BPV. It has 1 disruptor, FX, 4 phaser 2s, 1 FAL, 2 FA, 1 FAR. It has 2 phaser 3s, 1 left side, and 1 right side. It has 2 ESGs on this small tiny hull, and 2 shuttles. The Lyran invention of the interceptor and fast patrol ship radically changed the nature of war. The interceptor is basically a smaller PF. Both are attrition units. Previously, if a ship sustained a certain level of damage, it would withdraw from combat. With PFs, this was often not the case. PFs would often fight to their destruction and were powerful enough to damage a ship fast enough that the mothership they were deployed from could deliver a crippling or even killing blow before the damaged starship could withdraw. Where starships could take years to build, a PF could be built in days. Needless to say, the concept was quickly copied by the rest of the galaxy. The TV show Deep Space Nine's runabouts are roughly what a PF would be. While the Lyrans were the first to deploy PFs, they weren't the best designed PFs. The argument as to which race's PF is the best is a hot one, but most would agree the Gorn Pterodactyl PF is a prime contender for that honor. DS9 runabouts aside, in Starfleet battles, the Federation chose not to go the PF route, but instead deployed a massive fighter, the F-111. But that's a video for another time. Where the Lyrans would tow as many as 4 PFs on a regular warship, most other races would only have 2, and would instead have specialized PF tender ships that would tow a squadron of 6 PFs. So, what is your favorite Lyran ship, and which race's PFs do you think is the best?